my beautiful butterflies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Beverly and it is lovely to see you today. In this video I'm not feeling too great, so we're going to sit down with a cup of tea and talk about disability benefits. So this week for me has been really stressful. I have a headache. My fatigue is kicked up, my pain has been bad, and it's all because on Wednesday I had to go to court to try and get my PIP benefit back, which is one of the benefits here in the UK for people who have disabilities. And because of that, I kind of felt like I wanted to sit down with you and talk about the process that I went through to try and get my benefits back, and the benefits that I'm on, and talk about my experiences, and to just try and help other people set your mind at rest if you're at the beginning of this process, and to try and help others in the same situation as me, because that's why I have this channel, that's why I have my blog, link is down below. Yeah, that's why I have all these things, to try and help other people. So I thought we'd sit down and have a little chat. I just have a normal cup of Yorkshire tea here. Feeling cozy, I have a headache, so let's get talking. So these are the benefits that I have here in the UK, and I think they are the only benefits you can get for disability. I don't know. So the first one I have is ESA. That stands for Employment and Support Allowance. And basically the process to get ESA is you fill in a massive form. Everything in England, and I'm sure it is in every country, you just fill in a massive form that is very stressful and very difficult to do. Oh, I haven't taken my tablets.
One eternity later.
And then with ESA, most people, you have to go somewhere and you see a doctor, and this doctor doesn't know you, he's completely impartial, and he does a few tests, he asks you questions, and then from that determines whether you should have ESA or not. I think this is really fair. I think this is the benefit that is not the easiest to get, because it's never easy. Government never wants to give you money, and that's just the way it is. I think it's the one that's less stressful. You go and see somebody who is medically qualified, somebody who knows what they're talking about, and from that they decide whether you should get the money or not. And I think this is really fair, and I have that benefit. It wasn't something that I needed to go back and try and get it back or fight for. It was something that doctor could see exactly what was wrong with me, could see what my problem was, listen to me, and that was it. That benefit is probably the one that was the least stressful. And then I used to be on a different benefit, but they've changed it now to PIP. So this benefit is Personal Independence Payment, and basically this is based on the activities of daily living. I'll leave a link down below to the activities of daily living so that you can see. But when I was nursing, this was how you looked at a patient, like, do they go to the toilet okay, and how do they make food for themselves, can they eat, are they on a special diet, and how do they dress themselves, that kind of thing. So you went through the activities of daily living, so I was very much aware of this as a tool. So you fill in another gigantic form and send it off, and then somebody reads your form and decides whether you go somewhere to be seen by someone, or they come to your house, or they just say no. So I've been on disability benefits for years because I cannot work. No way. So I was changing from the old, I can't remember what it used to be called. If I can remember, I will add it up somewhere around. But this was me changing over. So I've been on it for years. Then I changed onto PIP and they said no straight away. And I was like, what? So I sent off and said, you know, I want to challenge your decision, please. And so then they had another person read the form and go through it again, and they decided that they wanted somebody to come to the house and see me. Now I will say that none of these people are medically trained. None of the people that have anything to do with PIP are medically trained. They're just people are doing a job. They could have any kind of a background. They just read a form, they just come and see you, and they ask questions that if you had any kind of training or knowledge of illnesses, you wouldn't even ask these questions, because it would just be like, obviously, if you have this illness, then you're going to be tired, or then you're going to have depression. Do you know what I mean? Like, if they were medically trained and they had any kind of knowledge. But yeah, none of them medically trained. And the woman came out to see me, saw me in my house, asked me a load of questions, and then she went off, and we thought, okay, well, I answered everything truthfully. I put my case across. It must be a yes, right? Wrong. They said no again. So we went to see a local charity, and I would definitely recommend this to anybody. Find a local charity or Citizens Advice Bureau, somebody who can help you fill in these forms, because they are a nightmare. And when you've got a professional helping you, you have a much better chance of getting a yes than a no, because they know how to fill them in correctly. But we eventually found a local charity that has volunteers that help people. So we went to see them and got some advice, and they helped us fill out the forms. And because we got 2 no's, we then had to go to court, and we waited and we waited. I mean, from them saying no to us getting to court was about a year. There are people who wait 2-3 years in order to get an appointment. We were very lucky that it only took a year. And this is what happened on Wednesday. We went there, and I was expecting a judge and jury and all that kind of... I don't know what I had in mind, but it isn't at all like you imagine. You just go into this room, and there are 3 people there. One is a disability... I don't know if they're a specialist, advisor, something like that. They're a specialist in disability anyway. You have a judge, and then you also have a doctor. So you have 3 people who will sit there. I sat behind a desk, they were sitting behind desks, and then my husband was sat not quite next to me. He was a little bit away on another desk, and he could only talk when I'd finished talking, so that was terrifying. If I'd known it was going to be like that, I probably would have had a panic attack beforehand, but I honestly thought Lee would be able to sit next to me and we would be able to give our case. But you don't really plead your case in there. It's more like they ask for clarifications, because they have all the paperwork, everything. They have a massive folder on you, and they know everything about you, probably more than your closest friends know about you. And they asked me questions. Each of them asked us questions. So they asked me first, and then they asked Lee a couple of questions, but they mainly wanted to talk to me. I was exhausted by the time I came out of there, and we were only in there for about half an hour or so. And they said they would make their decision, and we would hear in a couple of days. And then the following day we found out that we got the benefits back to where we were before on the other benefit. So it was a long drawn out process. It was very stressful, very scary. But I would say that the way I take it, it's a bit of a Russian roulette, as in you go for PIP and it seems to be very hit and miss. Like, there doesn't seem to be any kind of, well, if you've got depression and it's at this scale, then they will definitely say yes. If it's at this scale, they'll say no. It's all over the place. Or if you've got this disability, then you'll definitely get it. It's not like that at all. It seems to be very hit and miss, kind of throw a dart at a wall, and if they hit your form, then you get it. I don't know how they figure it out. The way it feels, I don't know if this is correct, but it's almost like they want you to give up. And we didn't give up. We pushed it and we went as far as we could go, and thankfully it was given to us. We had truth on our side. We did find that they had told lies, or they'd misheard. Shall we be nice? They misheard what we had said, and there were some inaccuracies in the things they had said in the booklet compared to my reality. And so when we went and talked to them, they could clarify on that. So that was really good. For me, the process seems to be a big waste of money. If you think just for me, they had to pay 2 people. They had to pay somebody to look at my form and say no. Then they had to pay somebody else to look at my form and somebody else to come here. They had to pay their petrol, they had to pay for them to come to my house, their wages, etc. And then another person to look at their thing and make a decision based on that. So you've already seen 4 people have seen your information by now. You've got to pay those 4 people's wages. And then when they said no, they had to pay for court, they had to pay for 3 people to look at us. No, actually there were 5 people in the room. I remember because there was a clerk who took notes and there was somebody sitting next to her. I think it was just an impartial person. I don't know who that was. So there were 5 people being paid to be in that room with us, as well as renting out the room, court costs, etc. And then they have to back pay us all the money that they would have been paying us on top of all of that. To me, it feels like a big waste of money. And if they did it in the same way that ESA is done, so you apply, you see a doctor who's impartial, and they say yes or no, I think that would be much better, because you're dealing with people with illnesses, chronic illnesses, disabilities. Why is there nobody who is a doctor until you get to court? It makes no sense. I would love to hear your opinions and thoughts on this whole process. It might get heated down there, so no political speaking, no bashing people. I just would love to hear your thoughts, but just be respectful of everyone's thoughts and feelings. Thank you. I would definitely improve it by doing that. I think you would save a lot of money by just having a medical person do the deciding in the first place rather than at the end. But that's my personal view. That's just me. I've been through this process. It was not fun. It was a very difficult year to deal with, having a lot less money, struggling. Surviving that is hard. I mean, it's taken all we didn't have much savings. We only had a little bit of a cushion between us and our overdraft anyway, because there's only one of us working. But that whole year without half of my money really depleted our savings, and we are really struggling. And yes, we do get back paid, but that money is supposed to help me cope with my illnesses. And there's a lot of things that I used to use for my illnesses and to help me that I haven't been able to take for a year, like CBD to help me sleep at night and to help with my anxiety. Yeah, just things that I really need. Like I used to use shower gel that had like essential oils in that helped my pain. Things like that I haven't been able to have. So as well as the pain, as well as the stress of having an illness, you've then got money issues that mean that you can't look after your illness as well as you want to. That's kind of where we were at, and it made it extremely difficult to cope with. I think it's easy to say, but you get back paid, but you've still got a year plus without that money, without those treatments. And so yes, my illnesses have worsened. I don't want to blame this process, but I do want to say that, fibromyalgia we're told not to be in stressful situations, and yet they put us in a stressful situation. It makes no sense. Those benefits are there to help us. That's why they're called benefits, because they benefit us. They're there to help us, and anybody who could step into my body for a day would be able to know that I couldn't work a job. I mean, just recording this video, can you see how tired I am? My eyes are going, my head is pounding. And this is just like a little 10-minute talk to a camera. Like, could I do an 8-hour job? No. And so it's thinking that way, thinking like this is here supposed to benefit me. I'm supposed to have this. And so if you're telling the truth, it will come out as it should. And yeah, just good luck if you're going through the process at the moment. I know it's a complete nightmare. I know it's so stressful, but you are not alone. My emails are always open if you need a rant or chat. My Instagram, everything is down below in the description to my Instagram, my Twitter, my website, everything is down there. So if you are going through this process and you are struggling or you want a little bit of advice, just hit me up somewhere, and I am always open to talking to people about what I can do, and if I can't find the answers, I'll find somebody who can. Thank you for sitting through this video. I hope that you got something out of it. If you did, definitely leave me a cheeky little like down there, and share this video out so I can help more and more people. And if you have anything that you know that could help other people, just leave it down in the comments. I love talking about things with you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to leave me a like and a comment, and while you're down there, hit that little subscribe button. I am trying so hard to get to 1,000 subscribers. It would be amazing to get to that point. So if you're not yet subscribed and you enjoy my videos, head down there, click that little subscribe button, ring that little bell, so you always know when I upload. I'm here Mondays and Fridays, my health permitting. I do my very best to be here for you all. I love talking to you. I love helping you all out, and yeah, it's just the best time of the week is to sit down and talk to you guys. So I hope you all have a really, really lovely week ahead of you. I hope you're having a lovely day today, and I'll see you next time. Bye!